welcome back to All Stars 5. This is episode 2. And I feel like I should just get started because, well, you guys don't want to hear me rant for a while, you know? Okay, so this week's challenge is basically going to be called Decades Take Over. So basically, I just gave them the challenge to do a decade from the past or, you know, what they wanted to do. They could have either submitted a picture or a video. I gave them a lot more freedom this season just so I could see what their expressions are going to be like and what they're going to express themselves as, you know? Okay. So this week's challenge was really dedicated and it was really, really hard, honestly. Like, oh my god. Baby girl. Period. Anyway, but there's gonna be one person who didn't submit, and that is Donna. She is currently having personal problems, so she is going to be AFK for this episode. Okay? And guess we're moving on. Okay, so the first person I'd love to see is Jamie.
Hello everybody, it is Jamie and this is episode 2. So my look is based off the 80s. I really love the 80s and I really wanted to show that in my look. I made sure to edit the pictures to make them look vintage, whatever. And I put together a look that I felt was very 80s. I made sure to do my research. Of course my shirt's not 80s, but it looks 80s, so I hope you like the look.
Jamie's look was good, but also wasn't my favorite. I liked it. He did pretty good. He really had the aesthetic of the 80s down. That's what he did, the 80s. And I could see a lot of the 80s. The thing that really wasn't 80s to me was probably like the jeans. The jean jacket and then the jean pants. That's for me. Because I've never seen really 80s like that, I guess you could say. And it was kind of darker, and if it was jean, it would have been lighter. Probably like patchy, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of things the 80s did, and it was very interesting. Very interesting. But I did enjoy what Jamie did. It really did have the aesthetic of the 80s. But at the same time, it was kind of boring, and I was just kind of like, tired of it. I was kind of expecting more, especially since he did win last week's episode. It was good, don't get me wrong. It really had that 80s picture, really had that 80s time. But it wasn't my favorite, you know? Okay, so now we're gonna have Catherine.
Oh, that's great. Good for you.
So I did a hippie basically because they're chill and everything, and I mean I'm pretty chill. I'm laid back, so that's why I did it. And I know it is not perfect, and I explained why. And I'm sorry if I disappointed anybody, especially you, Kino.
So for Catherine's, I liked it, but again, it was kind of boring. I liked it a lot, actually. It was really showing me the 70s hippie sort of style. So it really was like, okay, yes, it's a lot better, actually. I really liked it a lot better than last week's. It really did relate more to the 70s this week than it did last week, in my opinion. But honestly, it wasn't my favorite still. But her explaining herself really did work out for it this time, and I was really proud of her. Because she's getting better, a lot better, since what happened last episode. But, good job. I don't really have too much to say to that. It was just good and not bad. It was just in the middle. So next we're going to have Olivia.
So, this is my first day going to the integrated schools. And, it was kind of fun, actually. Like, I went to the white bathroom, and their toilets are shiny, and they have sinks. Like, we didn't have sinks in the black bathroom. Like, literally, it was, like, a whole new experience. And, like, did you know there's a thing called Caucasian? I have never heard that. They called them Caucasians, but they called us the coloreds. And I kind of felt offended, but, like, it's okay, because at least I get my education and we're all equal, right? Right. So my little skit was from the 60s when the schools first got integrated, and I was supposed to be a black person. A black person that was going to the integrated school on her first day.
Olivia's was not my favorite. It was my least favorite. For one, her acting wasn't that good. For two, I feel like she could have just had more emotion, I guess you could say, and more realistic characteristics in the way she was reacting, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think that's what they were, girl, in the 60s. Because she was basically trying to show off that she was, in the 60s, being, what's it called? Segregated. There we go. They were segregated. They were segregating, actually, because now they're in the 60s, late 60s, looks like, and they're segregating into each other for the whites and blacks to mix together in the schools. But for me, it really didn't look like that. It really was like she was just talking to a phone, which I'm pretty sure they didn't have phones back in the 60s. It would have been better if she talked like, oh, hey, Rebecca, so I went la 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 la. And then it would have been like, oh, my point of view is somebody, my friend. But no, she was walking around holding it like this. And I was just like, oh, okay, so it looks like she's holding a phone, talking to a phone in the 60s. She's wearing modern clothes and modern. Pretty much I saw everything modern. It wasn't anything new. It was just her trying to have a little skit from the 60s, which I really didn't like. Like I said before, it wasn't my favorite, and it's probably my least favorite. Okay, so next we are going to be having Shelby.
So this is my confessional. I know I didn't make one last challenge, which was like a big oopsie. I just completely forgot. So I made sure to make an effort to make one for this challenge. So the look I chose was the 50s look, and I chose the song and dance because it's from Teen Beach Movie, and the whole thing with that movie was the 50s look, and I really like the greaser style, so that's why I chose the 50s. I don't know what the other competitors chose, but I really like what I did, and I put a lot of effort into it. So hopefully I win like a little points.
Okay, to be honest, I loved Shelby's. I actually really liked Shelby's. Shelby's was really good. Her look was good, basically the 50s. So she basically did like the 50s and stuff like that. And it was really good. It was really, the clothes were really good. I liked it. It was on point for that. And I liked that she was dancing to Teen Beach Movie, they were from the 50s, and she was doing the dances that they were doing from the 50s. So she was really throwing us different things from the 50s, the looks, the dance, and the way that they just like post and stuff like that. But at the same time, I didn't really like the headband. I feel like the headband was pink while everything else was black. And I feel like if everything else was like pink matching the headband, that would have been cute. Or the headband being black matching the whole outfit, that would have been also cute. But at the same time, I also didn't like her shoes. They're Vans, girl. Vans. I'm pretty sure they didn't have Vans back in the 50s. I'm pretty sure they came into style 90s, maybe early 2000s. But I'm pretty sure they didn't have Vans. The Vans threw me off. I was like, oh, the Vans. And then the headband, I was like, the headband could have been a different color. But other than that, it was a really good video, and I'm pretty proud of Shelby. She did a lot better than she did last episode. And then we're going to move on with Judah.
Okay, the whole point I did Cleopatra was
because of my hair. I had black hair back then, and I used to have bangs. We don't speak of that, but yes, that's the whole point. I did her, and I did her last Halloween, which it was pretty fun. I'll show a picture later with Kino, but yeah, that's where I got her from. She was pretty fun to do.
Okay, so Judah literally did a whole different time period. I didn't hate it and I didn't love it. So it's basically kind of like Catherine, so it was in the middle, but it wasn't like bad, but it wasn't like the best. You know what I mean? It was basically like a costume look, which honestly isn't that bad. And I liked it. She literally went back literally pretty much thousands of years. Hundreds of years, maybe. She said 23 BC. Like, girl, what? Cleopatra? She was pretty back there. Girl, when I said decades, I mean literally take it back. Multiple centuries. She was doing the most, pretty much. But it looked like she was choosing one of her outfits and she was like, oh, this is going to go good with the decades. Because that's pretty much a decade back then. That was a decade. And it wasn't bad, it wasn't ugly. I don't really have much to say about it, and it was all right. Okay, and now let's move on with Giselle. I loved it. I loved Giselle's. Giselle's was the most creative with the video part. It wasn't that long, but it was good. I wish that she submitted a confessional explaining like what it was, how it meant to her, how did she come up with it, and it was good. The shoes, the dress, the headpiece, it was so good. And the red lipstick, she was basically a flipper back in the 1920s. Like, that's pretty crazy. And then she was basically like an independent woman. Like, she was like, oh yeah. And then the tinsels on the dress really was really, really good. Everything matched the perfect 1920s. And I'm really proud of her because she didn't do as good last episode. But this episode, she's doing really good. I'm really, really proud of her. And I'm glad I got to see that. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to be announcing who is safe this episode. For, in my theory, the people that I didn't like, but also I didn't hate, are Catherine and Judah. Those two were alright to me. They were safe. And I'm proud of them because they did a lot better than last episode. Judah was safe consistently. And then Catherine, she upgraded from low to safe. So maybe next week she could get top or a win. That would be great. But I'm pretty proud of you guys. Good job on getting safe. So I feel like this week's bottom to me is going to be Olivia. Like I said, hers was not my favorite at all. It really didn't show diversity, and it really showed just her regarding like, oh, what they acted like back in the 60s, which I wish she had more than that, you know. So I'm going to be giving her low this episode. And so that means I get to announce this week's winner. So for me, this week's winner really did a good job. Jamie did a good job. And then Shelby did a good job. And Giselle did a good job. Those are my three tops right now. So whoever announced the winner, the other two are going to be top too. So I honestly really liked... Okay. This week's winner is... Giselle. Congratulations, my girl. You did it. And I really liked it. Like, hers was actually pretty spot on with everything. The 1920s really hit me up. And I was like, I liked it. Even though it was a short video, a small little picture, her little small explanation, but she didn't explain. She didn't even send a confessional, which is alright. I liked it. It was my favorite one. And, girl, I'm proud of you. You did it. You did that. Upgraded from episode 1 to this. And that's on what? Period. I'm so proud of you. And yeah. So that means that Jamie and Shelby, you guys got top 2. Jamie, baby boy, how you gonna win and then go down top? You best win next episode. And for Shelby, congratulations, girl. You went from low to like... No, you didn't go low. You came from safe to top. That's not bad at all. You're working on yourself up, like a lot of people. But remember, anything could happen this season. And I mean everything. Just wait until next episode. You'll never know what comes up. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll definitely see you next Wednesday. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, bye guys.